So if we go to the bambulab.com website, we can see here that the A1 is presented here with the combo. So we're going to click on software to get the Bambu Studios, or you can actually use the Handy app on your phone to pretty much do everything you need also. And we're going to do the studio here. And so you're going to download it either from Windows or Mac. And once you download it, open it up, which I have mine already opened, and I've used this before. So when you do first open it, you will need to choose your printer, choose the nozzle size, things like that. But yeah, it kind of will look like this here. So we got the A1 here with the 0.4 nozzle, and these are the different nozzles that are available. So they actually have other printers that are supported, which is pretty cool. So we got the Bambu A1 with the 0.4 nozzle selected here. We got the build plate type, which is a textured PEI that comes with the printer, and you can choose the different kinds. So here we have filament. If we click on that, we can see that it does read our AMS and has all the colors numbered here. And number 5 is our single color that was PETG the last time we used it. As far as the AMS here, it's all here, and you can edit each one here specifically to do different things in different temperatures. So yeah, we're just gonna leave everything the way it is. You do have a lot of control over all the settings. Here we have synchronization from the AMS. So if we click this, it'll synchronize it, which ours is already synced as it knows the colors here. But it usually automatically does that, but if you need to, you can synchronize that so it's the same as what's in the machine. And we also have settings here of all the different filaments that the system understands, which are all these, including some third parties, which is pretty cool, and generic stuff. So yeah, you can check and uncheck depending on what you want to use or not. We also have custom ones that you can make. So below that, we can see we have the process. So this is going to be our slicing parameters. Well, you do have a few profiles here. This is the optimal, and this is what I've been printing on the whole time. It seems like it's the best overall, which is a 0.16. Might be better to go to a 0.2 standard, which probably would be better. So I'm just going to change it to that. And everything changes in here when you change that. So the advanced here is going to give you more options, this toggle. So you definitely want to turn that on if you want to see more stuff. But here we have control over quality, strength, speed, support, and others. So under quality, this is our layer height, the line width. So we're not going to mess with any of that. We got seam position. So yeah, you pretty much have everything here that you can control under the quality, which we'll leave everything the way it is. Under strength, I do like to bump up the wall loops to 3. So as you guys can see, if I did that, it's going to turn orange, meaning that a setting was changed, and you can reverse it. Or you can globally reverse it like I did earlier by clicking this, and it'll reset the whole thing back to the original parameters that, you know, the 0.2 standard has. So yeah, again, you can do stuff here. And I actually like to bump this up to 18%, the infill density. It's grid type. Everything else looks good. Then we got speed here, first layer of 50, and then after that it's going to be 200 on the outer and 300 in the inner. So very quick printing. So if you're using just PLA, this is just fine, which is what we got set up here. So everything is pretty much automatic, guys. There's not much you need to change or do. If you do need supports, obviously you enable it here and then you go from there. And others, we have bed adhesion where you can do skirt around the print, which for this printer I found I don't need it. Or you can even have brim on auto, which is it here. It's going to make a brim. I usually don't want a brim at all, so I'll click on no brim. So that's something you probably also want to change unless you do want brims, which helps the model stick. And then here we have actually a pretty important one, which is prime tower. So we can actually get rid of this prime tower if we wanted to. I think for the next print, let's turn it off and see if that's going to save us some filament. So here we have special modes, including vase mode or spiralized mode that we can click here to also use. And that's going to be just a few layers on the bottom and then one layer all the way around the model. So yeah, that's pretty much all the settings here. Now, if we throw a model in, and I'm going to do this turtle here for our next one, which actually has 6 different pieces, so, or it's split up in 6 parts. So if we choose all the parts and drop them in together, 6 of them, it's going to actually ask if we want to combine them all as one piece, meaning like make the turtle. Because if you say no, it'll just be all in pieces. So we're going to click on yes, and it's going to combine them all, and that's what it looks like. And if you print him just like this, he's just going to be one color in the Bambu PLA Basic here, orange. And by the way, these are all your controls up here for the model. So starting here in the middle, you got move, rotate, scale, lay on face, cut, mesh, so you can like split it up in pieces. You can put text on top of it. Here we have something interesting where you can actually paint the model. So here you can see we can choose any color out of the 5 we have, which technically 4 here for our AMS. I guess we need to get rid of this number 5 since we don't use it anymore. Let's see, how do we do that? Maybe click on minus. There we go. I just selected it and clicked minus and it disappeared. So now we just have the 4. So you can actually paint the model. So let's say you do have just a single model without the separate pieces like we threw in here. You can pick, let's say we want the eyes white. We'll click on number 2 here and we can actually paint. And it kind of knows where, if you don't go over too far, you guys can see I painted that. Let me see, zoom in here a little closer. So you guys can kind of see it's painted perfectly pretty much. But if I go over more, let's say I'm painting right now, it kind of spills over and then goes. So, and I control Z that to go backwards. So you can actually paint pretty accurately if you're, zoomed in enough and pretty careful. It's really good at it. But if we click on this icon here where it says assembly view, what's going to happen is it's going to let us click on each of the parts that were combined. So let's say we just click the shell. You guys can see the shell is just highlighted now. So now we can assign the shell the color we want. And we got these 4 colors here. I guess we'll just do the shell brown. And if we click on his body here, we can change that to anything we want. Let's do just the orange that it was. I think that should look pretty good. And then we got another part over here that we can select. It's like this ring around him below. Let's do that black. That looks pretty nice. And then we'll select the eyes. So that's just going to be the inner parts here. And we're going to do that white. And then let's select the round part here, which is also the eyebrows, and we'll do that black. And look at that. Now we got all 4 colors painted on the turtle. Yeah, once you're done with that and you're happy with the colors you chose, or the ones you have, I guess, in your AMS, you can click return here and it just goes back to the slicer. But now you guys see that it's all set up for printing. Not only do you get the paintbrush to paint the models, you also can color code them according to the parts themselves as they're assembled. So yeah, hopefully that made some sense there. Now we just do what we usually do. I guess we'll print them just like that. So we're going to click on slice up here. It's going to slice the model. So when it slices, it's going to give us all this information here of the filaments and how much it's going to take, which is going to be 62 grams of the orange, 11 of the white, 18 of the black, and 35 of the brown. So yeah, and I actually left off the tower, and you guys can see the tower is not there. Now if we did check the tower, wherever it is, here we go. Now we can slice it again with the tower. And we can see there it is right there. So I didn't see how much the total was. So it's going to take 9 hours. Wow, this is even longer than the other one. Very strange. So yeah, not only does it take a long time, guys, it's quite a bit of filament too. So the total filament is 150 grams. Okay, well that's not horribly a lot. But what if we delete the tower and slice it again? Here we have 127 grams. So we saved 23 grams or so, something like that. But I'm not sure if that's going to be good or not. But I think we should go ahead and do it without the tower and see what happens. I'm quite curious. Now up here, you guys can see we were in prepare where we were messing around with the model. And then it goes into preview when you slice it. And the next one after that is device. And that's going to be our printer. So once we send the file to the printer, we're going to go to the device. And then we got project and calibration. But if we go back to the prepare here, guys, one thing I wanted to show you, if we can see this flushing volumes button, if we click on that, we can actually see here it says that when it changes the color to a different color, this is how much it flushes it out. I'm guessing this is in millimeters. Yeah, this is in millimeters. So it's going to go through that much filament before it goes to the next color. And it is automatically calculated somehow. So not sure what the best flushing volume is, but I guess we'll leave it automatic. But you can change it here, and it says it's recommended to be between 117 to 800. And then you have a multiplier here. So if we're happy with everything and we're ready to print, we're going to click on the print plate, and it's going to show us this little preview here of how much time is going to take. 8 hours and 23 minutes. The amount of filament, 127.2. We have our printer connected, which by the way is pretty simple to connect the printer. As long as it's connected to Wi-Fi, the Bambu Studios will find it. So here we have a choice of doing bed leveling, flow dynamic, which I'm going to leave off, and time lapse off, but we are going to obviously enable the AMS. So if everything looks good, all we got to do is send it, and it's going to execute our print. I'm going to click on send. So it's sending it right now. And there it goes. So we can see this is our device main menu, and we can see what the printer's doing. So here it's preheating now. The build plate is going to 65. It's on 28. And you can see here you can control the speed, okay, so it started. The lamp here, the fan. We got all these X, Y, and Z controls in the home. And we also have the extruder control here. So more importantly here, we have the AMS, and it kind of shows you the status of it and what it's doing also. And you can load and unload from here. This huge window here is our camera. If we click on play, it should pop up here. Yeah, it's a little bit buggy on mine. I don't know if it's the internet or just the printer. If I just stop it and play it sometimes, there it goes, yeah. But it's very, very delayed, so it's nice to look at it at a glance. Plus the angle's kind of not so great either. But in any case, below that we have the printing progress. basically it's at 0% and it tells you what it's doing, changing filament. And the layers here from 0 to 239, and it's going to take 8 hours and 22 minutes. And you guys can see here, if I click on this here, this is the printer that we're connected to. I actually have another printer here, which is the P1P, and you can switch between these two. So you can also access your micro SD card, it looks like, and it says not supported on this printer. And then we also have updates here. Yeah, status is where everything's at. And oh, the camera is back up, but it looks very dark. So yeah, again, my camera is very buggy, so it must be something with my camera. So yeah, there goes those lines again. Oh, there we go. Well, maybe not. Well, actually, yeah, it's back. So yeah, I'm a little disappointed about the camera, and I'm not sure if it's just my unit, but yeah, it's very laggy and very unreliable, seems like. And then here we have outer recording monitor, so I got that off. Not sure exactly what that is, but so in the control also we got print options, and here you can turn certain things on and off, like recovery, the sound that it makes if you don't want it to do that, and also filament tangle detects. Here you guys can see that right now it's going to our first color, which is the orange here on the AMS. So yeah, that's pretty much it. It's gonna just print. You can see here we're at 1% now. It's homing the tool head. Actually pretty simple to use, and if you want to work on a new project, you just go back to prepare here and you do your thing as that's printing, and you can always go back to device here and see your updates. So, and here you guys can see we are printing our first layer. We don't have a purge block, which is going to be really interesting to see how that turns out, but overall everything looks good.